I'm Natalia. I'm a partner at Within People. This is my first Disrupt HR, so we'll see if we can make this format work. I want to talk to you guys tonight about something that actually Priyanka already brought up earlier, but it's a fact that really, really bothers me, which is that, how is it that over 2/3 of people actually feel disengaged at work every day, going home feeling like crap? And really, that has a lot of causes, but for me, the root is in culture. Because actually, culture is not optional. It's something that exists in your business, whether you like it or not, whether you tend to it or not, whether you care for it or not. So it's either working for you or against you. And so my question tonight is, can you codify your culture? Short and sweet answer is yes, we can. And that's because if you think about business, and this is a great Simon Sinek framework, by the way, every business runs on 3 levels: why you do what you do, how you do it, and what you offer in the market. And at Within, we see culture kind of sitting in the how space, right? It's how you do what you do. It's your way of doing business. It's your way of working. And we codify that through values, right? So values are how you actually show up to every meeting, to every phone call, every email. And I'm wondering what you guys are thinking when I say values, because sadly, it's one of the most misunderstood concepts in business. So if you've ever kind of rolled your eyes when someone says values or been like, God, I just can't remember mine, unlike Michael earlier, totally nailed it. Or thought yeah, it's great for team building, but actually I've got a business to run, so just kind of let's leave that to the side. Don't worry, you're not alone, because actually less than a quarter of people say they can even use their company's values, right? So you've got all these empty statements that are just kind of going in the bin every day. And so I want to share with you guys 3 things that are absolutely not your values, just so we can be clear about what we're talking about. Okay, innovation, not a value. It's actually an outcome of how you work. And that's because if I walk into Google, the way I would innovate at Google would be completely different than if I was going to go into the Rockefeller Foundation, right? So how do I innovate in your business would be how you get to a value there. Second one is transparency, also an outcome. And actually, the most transparent businesses tend to be one that have values around kind of openness to change, openness to learning. And then the last one is sort of a classic Fortune 500 favorite, which is integrity, not a value. And sadly, that's because it's kind of a given. It's if you're not operating with integrity, I'm sorry, but you don't have a license to operate. So values are behaviors, okay? They're not these abstract words that don't mean anything or outcomes. And I want to share with you 4 examples that are actually our own values at Within, because we spent some time trying to figure out how to actually make them real behaviors that we can show up to. The first one is be exceptional. So that means that if I'm working with a client, I have to show up with some skills. I have to show up with that and try and do it better than the last time, every time, and actually invest in that. The second one is really important to us, the coaching business, which is solve at source. So that means that we always want to kind of go to the root of an issue in someone's business. We're not consultants. We're not there to wallpaper over it. We really want to know what's causing a problem. The third one is my favorite one, and I think the warm-up exercise really speaks to it, which is make change fun. Change is hard. It's scary. I've had plenty of jobs where change was not fun at all. And the reality is if you can make change fun, you can actually unleash people's creativity, get to better outcomes for the client. And then the last one, which is kind of why I'm here tonight, is learn together. So we are really keen to kind of build on the collective wisdom that not just we have as partners, but in the wider community. So you can kind of see that if you've got the right kind of clear set of values, they start to work together as a system. So I can't just be learning all the time, otherwise my clients would be like, what the hell am I paying you for? So it got to be exceptional. At the same time, I can't just be having fun all the time. I actually have to deal with the real issues that my clients are going through, but I can't just prod them the whole time. I have to help them have a good time as well. So that begs the question, how do you use values? Because clarity is one thing, actually using them is another. We've talked to over 50 business leaders around the world over the past 2 months trying to actually figure out some answers to that question. So I've got 3 for you tonight. The first one is hire the right people, right? Values are how you hire people without just a resume. Because hiring people, I think you heard earlier, with just a resume is really hard. It's how do you actually get the right people for your culture, for your business? The second one is structure. So structure is often something that happens to companies as they grow bigger. And if you have really clear values, it helps you to define the structure that actually reflects and helps to promote the way of working that makes you special, that leads to innovation, that leads to transparency and good outcomes. And then the third one is your customers. Values aren't just for us. They're not just internal. Your customers feel them every time they interact with you. So imagine how amazing it would be if everyone that touches your customer and your business actually knew and believed in and understood your values and what makes you special. So my question for you tonight is your culture clearly codified? And if not, maybe it should be. But thank you.